back to Cleveland for one reason: to resurrect his reputation and his stature. Talking about the commitment that LeBron gives, that he's revered for, along with many others, and what they bring to the table off the court. In a bib, what do you want? Do you want us to feed you some applesauce or something? My God, what more can you do other than saying he's not the GOAT?
For 2 decades, LeBron James has been chasing ghosts. Not just championships, but the legacy of one man who casts a shadow over every hardwood court, from Chicago to Cleveland. Michael Jordan. The GOAT. The standard. While fans debate stats, rings, and accolades, Stephen A. Smith just made it crystal clear: LeBron's obsession with winning chips does not equal greatness. It's time to face a truth many refuse to accept. This isn't hate, it's reality, a truth rooted deep in competition. LeBron is relentless. He's dedicated. Statistically, he's the most dominant forward the game has ever seen. But greatness and immortality aren't the same. His fire to win, to validate his place in the GOAT conversation, is undeniable. Yet that same fire betrays him. It exposes a hole in his legacy. The chip, for LeBron, isn't just about love for the game. It's about recognition and validation. That hunger is exactly why he will never be Michael Jordan. If you're tired of sugarcoating, if you're ready to confront the uncomfortable truth, then hit that like button, subscribe to NBA Showdown, and join the conversation. We're not here to hype greatness, we're here to define it. Stephen A. opens the debate with a clear stance. LeBron James is the second greatest player of all time. He praises LeBron's high school dominance, professional milestones, and unparalleled longevity. But then he delivers his verdict. LeBron's resume, stacked as it may be, still doesn't surpass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's. That's powerful, because if LeBron's resume doesn't top Kareem's, how can it touch Michael Jordan's? This is where obsession comes into play. LeBron knows he's measured not just against peers but against legends. That's why he plays this long. That's why he keeps chasing. But the greatest never needed to chase. Jordan dominated in an era with no excuses. He defined a generation and left no doubt. Meanwhile, LeBron's resume is still a work in progress, a project built on longevity rather than peak dominance. It's padded with finals appearances instead of punctuated by perfection. LeBron's obsession with rings has turned into a mission to compile stats and accolades, to overwhelm the debate with numbers instead of defining moments. But greatness isn't just about how much you win, it's about how you win, when you win, and who you beat. Jordan's 6-for-6 finals record, 6 finals MVPs, and ruthless dominance scream legacy. LeBron's 4 rings? They come with asterisks, team changes, super teams, and an eternal quest to prove he belongs. Yes, LeBron's resume is legendary. But the fact that it's debated, still compared rather than universally accepted, proves one thing: he may be obsessed with the chip, but he still hasn't reached the summit.
LeBron James, I got him number 2 all time, but I don't think his resume is better than Kareem.
I think his resume is
better than Kareem?
I think it is.
High school, college, pro, 19-time All-Star.
When Stephen A. Smith compares this debate to Prince and Michael Jackson, he's not talking about music. He's delivering an allegory that slices through the LeBron GOAT conversation like a sword. You can love Prince. You can admire Prince. You can even argue he's one of the greatest to ever do it. But no one with eyes and ears ever believed he was bigger than Michael Jackson. That's the brutal parallel. LeBron may be the Prince of the NBA, talented, brilliant, revolutionary in his own right. But there is still a king, and that king is Michael Jordan. LeBron's obsession with the throne has blinded his fans to reality. Every stat is weaponized, every ring glorified, every accolade twisted into propaganda. But Stephen A. reminds us, legacy isn't about accumulation, it's about resonance. And Jordan resonates deeper, louder. He owns the very soundscape of basketball history. LeBron may have rewritten records, but Jordan wrote the rule book. That's why the entire GOAT conversation collapses. While LeBron fights to prove he's on that level, Jordan sits above the noise, untouchable, unchallenged, unimpressed. Calling LeBron number 2 isn't disrespect, it's accuracy. He's chasing a ghost he can never catch because the king isn't on the court anymore. He's in the rafters, in the very soul of the sport. And that's where the Jordan versus LeBron debate gets deeply uncomfortable, for LeBron's supporters and for anyone unwilling to admit that sometimes second best is still greatness, but never the throne.
Disagree with them, but I wouldn't hit them over the head if they said Prince. I would sit up there and say, well, that is Prince that they brought up here.
Right.
Prince and Michael Jackson. Now, nobody,
Stephen A. delivers the truth with no filter. LeBron James did not enter the league as a killer. He came in gifted, yes, physically unmatched and brimming with potential, but not ready. It took years for him to ascend. It took Dwayne Wade. It took Pat Riley. It took a team of veterans reminding him of who he could be. That is not the story of the GOAT. That is the story of someone searching for greatness, not owning it. When Michael Jordan entered the league, he was different. Even when the Bulls were weak and surrounded him with average talent, Jordan attacked the league like a man possessed. He didn't need a mentor, he was the mentor. He elevated everyone around him from day one. LeBron, on the other hand, had to be taught how to win. He had to be pulled aside, coached psychologically, pushed, and practically begged to embrace the killer instinct. And even then, it came only in flashes. He grew. He evolved. He became a force of nature. But GOATs don't take years to find hunger, they are born with it. Jordan was born to kill. LeBron had to learn. That is why his obsession with the championship exists. Because it never came naturally. He had to chase it. And even now, decades into his career, that chip still feels like external validation rather than internal certainty. That's not how GOATs are made. That's how obsessed legends are remembered.
You say how you lowered your voice when you talk about I would say Prince, but that ain't what you do. That ain't what you do with LeBron James. When you talk about you put him number 2, and all you do is that you stay elevated, Mike being number 1. You said I would say Prince. I would say Prince.
Some people would say Prince, and I would not disrespect them for that. But I'm telling you this, I'm not going to get...
When LeBron James defends his legacy by comparing himself to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, Stephen A. Smith exposes a massive contradiction. At first, the analogy sounds clever, but when you pull back the curtain, it collapses. Peyton Manning was never widely considered greater than Tom Brady. He was respected, admired, and undeniably great, but he was not the ultimate symbol of championship dominance. Brady was. So, when LeBron uses that comparison, what he's really admitting is that he's the Manning of this conversation. A legend, yes, but not the legend. That logic drips with desperation. It reeks of obsession. The ring count matters to him more than anyone wants to admit. Every finals appearance, every comeback, every stat, each is a calculated attempt to secure a seat at the top of the mountain. But greatness doesn't work like that. You don't climb Mount Olympus by lobbying for inclusion. You dominate your era so completely that the debate dies before it begins. Jordan didn't debate. He destroyed. He didn't campaign for GOAT status. He left no room for another outcome. LeBron, on the other hand, constantly falls into the trap of justifying his greatness through comparisons and analogies. The Manning-Brady line is just another example of how badly he wants the world to see him as number 1. But here's the truth. If you have to explain why you're the greatest, you probably aren't.
About or discuss with these guys is because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady.
Stephen A. Smith rips the mask off one of the biggest myths in LeBron James' career. His return to Cleveland wasn't about unfinished business, righting a wrong, or pure love for his hometown. It was about repairing an image fractured by the decision and the perception of Miami's super team. LeBron knew he needed to be seen differently. He knew the media had turned, the fans had turned, and his legacy carried a stain. So he came back to Cleveland with one purpose: fix the narrative, control the optics, rewrite history. That's not the move of a GOAT. That's the move of someone obsessed with how they're remembered. Michael Jordan never cared about narrative. He let the game speak. He didn't chase forgiveness, he chased greatness. He didn't need to rebuild public trust because he never betrayed it. LeBron, however, operates like a politician. Every step is calculated. Every interview, every decision, Every PR moment is designed to steer the conversation. That's what obsession with the chip does. It turns every moment into a mission for validation. Winning in Cleveland wasn't just about the ring. It was about legacy control, image correction, and proving he could win outside a super team. But true GOATs don't manage perception. They define it. LeBron tried to manufacture a redemption arc. Jordan never needed one.
Back to Cleveland for one reason: to resurrect his reputation and his stature.
Stephen A. Smith unloads here, and he's right. The GOAT conversation shouldn't even be a conversation anymore. Michael Jordan owns that title in the minds of the majority. He's the benchmark, the icon, the unchallenged standard. Yet every few months, LeBron James and his camp push their way back into the spotlight, demanding reconsideration. That isn't greatness, it's obsession. It's insecurity disguised as ambition. Stephen A. makes it clear, many people, himself included, recognize LeBron's place among the all-time greats. But GOAT? That's another tier entirely, and LeBron hasn't crossed it. Still, his circle acts like the debate is alive and thriving. They play the victim. They accuse the media of bias. They push this idea of a grand conspiracy keeping him off the throne. But there's no conspiracy. There's just Jordan, towering, eternal, untouched. LeBron's camp must stop pretending this is about disrespect. Saying someone is second is not disrespect. What's disrespectful is ignoring the man who set the standard in the first place. LeBron's obsession with the chip has turned into narrative control. His team pushes documentaries, his fans flood social media, and his defenders cherry-pick stats. Yet none of it changes the truth. Jordan is the GOAT. And the fact that LeBron feels the need to campaign for the crown only proves he doesn't know.
We have to stop letting him and his camp get away.
Lots of people have.
Once again, no, excuse me, when we talk about the GOAT, because he's not in a lot of people's eyes, it's Michael Jordan. That is it. Everybody universally recognizes him as one of the top 3 players in the history of basketball.
When Stephen A. Smith sarcastically asks if LeBron James needs a diaper, a bib, and applesauce just because he isn't called the GOAT, it's more than humor. It's pure frustration. It's ridicule aimed squarely at a superstar who craves affirmation like oxygen. LeBron's reaction to criticism has always revealed one truth. He doesn't just want respect, he wants unanimous adoration. And when he doesn't get it, the sulking begins. Stephen A.'s mockery hits hard because it's accurate. LeBron seems to expect the basketball world to spoon-feed him praise simply because of what he's accomplished. Yes, he's played more than 2 decades. Yes, he's broken records. Yes, he's won championships. But the moment someone says, "You're not the GOAT," he and his defenders lose composure. That's not the mindset of someone secure in his legacy. That's obsession. Michael Jordan never needed the world to bow to him. His game made it happen naturally. LeBron, meanwhile, is always reaching for a crown that isn't his. He's constantly battling ghosts only he sees, always asking, "What more can I do?" The answer is simple: nothing. Because the one thing separating Jordan from everyone else is he never lost when it mattered most. He didn't need multiple tries to prove greatness. He didn't beg the world for validation. LeBron wants the GOAT title handed to him gently, with soft words and no scrutiny. But greatness isn't a participation trophy. It's ruthless, final, and undeniable. Jordan owned that from day one. Stephen A. is tired of the whining, and truthfully, so is everyone else.
In a bib, what do you want? Do you want us to feed you some applesauce or something? My God, what more can you do other than saying he's not the GOAT?
Stephen A. Smith reminds the world of a simple truth. The spotlight is earned, not given. You don't get the shine just because you exist. You earn it through triumph, through winning, and winning consistently. LeBron James didn't have that same glow early in his career because he wasn't a champion yet. The media waited for proof. The fans watched to see if he could deliver. And for years, he didn't. That's why the narrative that LeBron was always this universally revered figure is a myth. It's revisionist history. He didn't truly become an icon until he captured that elusive first ring. Only then did he shed the label of talented but incomplete. Only then did his name sit comfortably in the same conversations with legends. And that's the point Stephen A. is driving home. LeBron's obsession with championships isn't simply a noble pursuit. It's the foundation of his entire identity. Without rings, LeBron is just another statistical marvel. With them, he becomes a legend. That's why every move he's made, every off-season decision, every roster shift, every season-long push, has been laser-focused on one thing: the title. He knows the shine is conditional. He knows greatness lives exclusively in the winner's circle. Jordan, by contrast, created his own shine. From the moment he stepped on an NBA floor, he changed the game. He elevated teammates. He owned defining moments. And when he won, it was absolute. No questions, no debates, no what-ifs. LeBron had to climb. He had to chase. And that chase became obsession. Every missed opportunity eats at him. Every finals loss adds more weight. Every critique fuels his hunger. Stephen A. isn't disrespecting LeBron, he's exposing the truth. LeBron is a man defined by rings, desperate to keep the shine he fought so hard to earn.
You weren't getting that kind of shine when you weren't winning. If you didn't win anything, it wasn't coming to you like that.
Stephen A. Smith highlights a crucial aspect of LeBron James' legacy: his legendary off-season work ethic. The commitment, the training, the endless grind to improve, even after decades of success, is admirable. But it also reinforces the central argument. LeBron is obsessed with the championship. He isn't grinding in silence purely for self-growth. He's grinding because every new skill, every physical upgrade, every tactical adjustment is a calculated step toward one thing: another ring. For LeBron, every offseason is not rest, it's a campaign. A war room. A strategic operation to ensure his name isn't lost when legacy debates reignite. He knows that if he slows down, if he steps back, the noise returns. The critics speak louder. The doubts creep back. That's why he trains with fury, and why social media fills with workout clips and gym sessions. This isn't just love for the game, it's hunger to stay relevant, stay dangerous, and stay within reach of the next title. His ultimate security blanket, his shield against comparisons. Michael Jordan didn't need to chase that validation. Every season was a statement, every championship a final word. LeBron, meanwhile, still searches for that one defining win, that ultimate moment to silence the Jordan chants. That is why he works the way he does. Because when you're obsessed with the chip, rest is not an option.
About the commitment that LeBron gives, that he's revered for, along with many others, and what they bring to the table off the court. Are you constantly working to improve your craft and to elevate your level of play? The audience needs to see that.
When Stephen A. Smith says LeBron James has an insatiable appetite for the chip, he's calling it exactly what it is: an obsession that stretches far beyond simple competition. This is no longer just about basketball. It's about legacy, insecurity, and validation. For LeBron, the ring isn't just a goal, it's a lifeline. It's the thing that keeps him afloat in the GOAT debate. Without it, the entire conversation about his place in history collapses. And this isn't the same hunger that drove players like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. This is addiction, the belief that one more championship will finally silence every critic. But here's the truth, it never will. No matter how many rings LeBron adds, he will never be Jordan. Because while LeBron needs the chip to justify his greatness, Jordan used the chip to confirm his dominance. Jordan didn't chase titles to rewrite narratives. He was the narrative. Every LeBron championship comes with a question mark. How did he win? Who helped? What happened in the losses? That's a fragile legacy, built on perception as much as performance. And Stephen A. knows that LeBron isn't playing for joy anymore. He's playing for judgment, hunting a moment of unanimous acceptance that will never come. True greatness doesn't need validation. It speaks, and the world listens. LeBron screams, and half the world still shrugs. That is the tragedy of his obsession. He's chasing a finish line that doesn't exist.